The next part is a master data optimization. It's a dimensional and master data IDs. So there is an SAP note explaining if you have dimensional data more than 100,000 or master data more than 100,000, the dimension should be buffered for performance issues. This is not that relevant when running HANA, but on default or standard BW systems, you can gain a lot of performance by buffering. So you can set a specific dimension, you can set a specific master data object, you can turn on the threshold. Like I said, the SAP recommendation is about greater than 100,000. I use 100 because this is just a test system. If I start on analysis, I will see all cubes, all dimensions that have more than 100 entries. On the other hand, this tool is very good as well to use a tool for analyzing cubes if there is some kind of extended dimension. So think of your ideas where you can use it. Same for master data, for SNRO. And the great advantage of this tool is if you transport this tool to productive system, normally the SNRO transaction where to buffer or debuffer master data or dimension in a closed system is impossible. So first you have to open your system, then you have to find the buffer object, which is like I just displayed, this BIM or BID object, BID for dimension. If I go on master data, do the same on master data. Select, for example, a specific master data or use the asterisk. Then it will analyze my master data and you will see all entries that have more than 100 entries. And you see the SNRO object, but you don't have to care about that one. If you like to buffer, set the buffer object, set buffer size, take off the test mode, and it's done. The same for buffering info objects. There is another SAP node or KBA explaining info objects higher than 100,000 records or entries and SIDs, for example, should be buffered. I reference the SAP node over here. So I use 1,000 because I have a tiny system over here. If I click on debuffer object and I'm in test mode, it will analyze all info objects having more than 1,000 entries and if buffering is allowed or not. If buffering is not allowed, then the tool will not set it and you can buffer and debuffer the objects. The next set of tools is, I call it transformation down. So imagine you are already converted your BW to BW on HANA or BW for HANA and you like to optimize your system even more. Think of cubes, DSOs, transformation that have no logic inside. So that means you have a DSO connector, a DSO connected to an SAP cube or a BW cube, and there is no logic in between. Within HANA, due to performance reasons, there is no need for cubes anymore, and you would store the data redundantly. So you like to get rid of that, and you like to know what transformation is not necessary. Where do I have transformation without logic? So in that case, our tool will help you. For example, if I select now start routine, no end routine, no expert or single routines, and I can even set up some HANA definition modes, and I run the tool, it will indicate directly what transformation is not having any of these rules I just mentioned. And it's interactive like the other tools from our tool set. So if I click on a transformation ID for material text, I'm directly within the transformation. You see no start routine, no end routine, no single routine. If I go back and repeat this step with a different one like product general attributes or other attributes, you can jump to the specific items. If I like to see only transformations having a start routine, do the same, select with start routine. I have different ones now, and if I go, for example, to the 0HR PA1, I jump into the routine or I jump into the transformation. The system will read the transformation and will directly go into it. And as you can see, there is a specific routine and single routines. I did not check for single routines. I could have done it, but I see there is a start routine. So whatever you select on the specific checkbox can be displayed over here. If you look for expert routines, do I have any expert routines? Click on the button or select the button expert routine and the system will directly bring you in. And in our case, you see there is no routine or no transformation containing an expert routine in our system. Another option of our tool is the info object and variable finder. So for example, if you like to change an info object like zero customer and you're not aware or not sure where it's been used, so the only thing you have to do is just type in zero customer, press the execution button, and the system will display, okay, zero customer is been used in those queries. You can search via the query, you can search in info cubes, the same for variables. Think of the problem that you like to change a variable due to its behavior and you're not aware where it's been used. Our tool can look up a variable, for example, selection variable for calendar months, start the variable analysis, and the tool will directly guide you to the different areas or different queries, in this case queries where it's been used. So you see the author of the query, so you might inform him that after you change something on the variable that it might have some problems, or at least you can use the queries and check if the query is working perfectly after you change the variable. The same for DTPs. I can use the selection in DTPs for dynamical date range or whatever selections. If I like to make sure that it's not being used in any kind of DTPs and to provide any further problems, just click on the analysis, and in my case, it's telling me, okay, it's not being used. Next thing is query details. For example, if I have a specific query or if I look for queries like in my cube 0TCT, I just enter the part of the cube, the rest will be added with wildcard automatically. I see, okay, these are my cubes because I entered 0TCT. Those are my queries. This is the author. This is the person that changed it. And you can see if it's a 3.x or 7.x version. So you will get and retrieve information about your queries. If you look for a specific query, you can directly enter the query over here or use the drop-down functionality to specify a query where you look for specific items. If it's a 3.x, if it's a 7.x, if you like to have to convert it. And as you can see, the system will bring up the official SAP query lookup. So all functionality within our tool is based and aligned with SAP. So it's a very convenient to use and easy to use to specify the different needs, housekeeping or performance optimization modes. If you have any question or if you'd like to get further details, don't hesitate contacting me.